What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. You asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled Maybe She Has Bad Intentions. So I had a conversation with my aunt earlier today, and she just saw the thing with like Kenya Moore getting divorced. I talked to her about it, and then she was like, she said, it isn't until recently she started thinking that some of these ladies actually didn't want to get married. They just wanted to have kids, and they had bad intentions. And I was like, yeah, you know. And she said it took that Housewives type of show to bring to her attention that it's not always these stories about men being negative people and doing negative things. And I was like, well, we've been trying to tell you that for years, right? But thus the reason why I'm making this video is because but my aunt, my nephew rather, little cousin, whatever. Her son is about 14, so she's older than me, but she's just starting to get into the realm that maybe women have bad intentions, and they may have bad intentions for men. Thus, they're gonna have bad intentions for her son. So we had these conversations, and I was listening to Kendra D do a thing about are you doing it? Is it for your child's best interest, or your best interest? And sometimes when I talk about subjects like this, and part of the reason I wrote the book was because in society we have this assumption that men have this negative connotation to it, that men are always doing something or going to do something in the negative. Kind of like some people are viewed as, if anybody saw the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, where they arrest people on crimes that they envisioned that they were going to commit, but they actually didn't. So they were guilty of a crime that they actually didn't commit because somebody foresaw that they was going to commit a crime. So it's like that part of the situation. And and I see this, some of my friends, we have these discussions where, when my female friends talk to their female friends are good people. When my female friends talk to their male friends about their female friends, it's like, wait, what? That's not like, that's not on the up and up. That's like, that's really that's how can I say? That's really some dysfunctional or evil to a degree, bad intention type things. And and it's like, y'all don't realize that she has bad intentions. Like, no, she can't. And it's like, as long as a man is involved in the equation, the actions that woman can conduct or not, the things that she can do are just completely overlooked because there was a guy in the equation. And this can be, a guy could be in the equation, and another woman could be in the equation. Like, okay, for example, someone could say their girlfriend is a good girl. Their girlfriend could be sleeping with another woman's man, but because she's sleeping with another woman's man, he's the bad guy. But she knows the woman, and she's sleeping with her man when she's not paying attention, or when she leaves, or she knows the schedule, and she's down to do that. So the only bad person in that is actually the man. The woman who doesn't know, she doesn't know, so the woman don't care. And the woman that does it, she doesn't care that she's participating in it, because that doesn't make her a bad person, because for some odd reason that's part of the ridiculous logic, but she has bad intentions. And another thing, and the reason why I'm having this conversation is because, like I said, when my aunt saw the thing with Kenya Moore, and she said, Porsha did the same thing. Now, I don't watch those shows, but I know who she's talking about. She said, so they married these guys. Why would they marry these guys if they just wanted to have a baby? And I was like, well, here's the thing. The guys that they probably married and had kids with are the type of guys that you were gonna have to. The only way they were gonna have kids is actually be married. So they went through with the marriage, then they got the kid, and then they never wanted to be a wife. They just wanted to have a baby. So the guys, probably ultra responsible and a good guy, but he wouldn't have did that if they wouldn't have got married. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. Like, sometimes people do that. Sometimes people want a baby, and depending on who they want, they got to take it the extra mile. Sometimes you can have a baby with a guy who doesn't care. He's just a baby making machine, right? Like Future don't care. You feel me? Like he like, you want this? I got it for you. But in this situation, those guys cared. And now my aunt was telling me, she said, what's bad about that is you can basically see they got newborns or toddlers, and as soon as they got the baby, they X the guy out in a sense. And she's like, that's not cool. I'm like, yeah, it's not cool. But this is what happens. And ironically, because part of this situation came up because my aunt was asking me, do you want to have more kids? And my mother asked me the same question. A few coworkers asked me the same question. And I was like, no. Like, and I ran into one of my ex-girlfriends a week ago, and she has more kids. And one of the reasons why me and her broke up was because she wanted more kids. I had one, she had one. She wanted to have 2 more. And I'm like, I'm not making any children, just single. It had to be like family, marriage type thing. And that's not necessarily what she wanted, but she wanted to have more kids. So she wound up, when I saw her recently, she has 3 now, right? So, and sometimes, the guys look, I guess, some of these guys look like, you look at their talking points and you say they just bitter, or they don't want to be responsible, or they're just not good people. And what winds up happening is some of these guys get angry because they figure out on the back end that they just got used, and they don't like that. And they don't like it because of the amount of time that they got to be stuck to this other person, because this is not what they signed up for, And I remember, like, there was a time where I had custody of my son. I had to actually file because I was filing for custody because I had custody of him. And I remember being in the I forgot what the office is, like. It's the family court, the building. I'm filing for it, and one of the they're not an attorney, like they're not even like a caseworker type of person. The lady looked at me and said, you just only reason you're doing this because you don't want to pay child support. And I'm looking at this lady like, you don't even know me, and obviously I can't work through this place because what happens? You don't even know the situation, but you see a man in here. The man doesn't want to pay child support, even though the man has custody of the child. That's interesting. But the same day, she's going to see numerous women because it was, at that time, it was me and a white dude was the only men in there. It was just a building for the women. And I'm like, okay, this is a problem. Because now, once again, being a man, you got to have a negative connotation to even being a parent. And I remember going to court, and the judge, like immediately, my situation wound up going left because I sent my son with his mother for the summer, and I didn't see him for a whole year. That's basically how I lost custody. She just basically disappeared with him. So he's with her now for such and such a time, and I'm in court like, yo, she disappeared, but they didn't care about that. It wasn't considered kidnapping because she did it. You get what I'm saying? But the reason I'm saying that is because when I got to the court, the judge just immediately went in on me. She didn't even look at the docket. And I'm just sitting there looking. I'm like, okay. And then she looks at the paper. Wait, you're the one who filed for custody? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it isn't even dawned on the judge that a woman could have negative intentions, and she was a judge, and she was a female judge. She was a black female judge. I talked to my lawyer about this. During that whole process, I said, eventually this is going to change because these stories are going to keep coming to pass about all this stuff. And I said it, and I wrote it in that book. Technology is going to change a lot of this stuff because now people are so open about this negative part that you're starting to see, people get accustomed that maybe these ladies don't have good intentions, and it's pulling down the veil of innocence, and that's no longer existing. And now people are starting to take considerations into the fact that the women ain't angels and the men ain't devils just on sight. So this is why I made this video. So I'm done. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.